welcome back to Access Anime. I'm Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a review and walkthrough of Ixion Saga Dimension Transfer Episode 4. Now, if you remember from last episode, we were introduced to a new character, a flying squirrel. Doesn't have a name, but it's officially part of the group now. And apparently, this flying squirrel with no name was sent by Elma Flora, which is a sorceress we know nothing about still. We also get to see Dukakis get the bad news from the doctor yet again. He's missing another balls. It's been removed. So he's got zero left. Sorry. Can I please keep making fun? Okay, one more? Okay, one more. 0. Yeah, sorry, I just had to make fun of him one more time. But anyways, the main group, Icarlet, Cone, Sanglion, and the last member, I always forget her name, Mirandel, they're actually heading to the capital right now, and that's where we're at. But that was the last episode, and this is a whole new chapter. So let's dive right in. Again, I'll keep my comment and my rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But anyways, let's get dirty. Let's go for it. I'm gonna get started now. Sit back, relax. Here I go. Now, we open it up with, again, the flying squirrel and Cone. Apparently, this flying squirrel took something that belonged to Cone, like food or something. He's all mad. But, you know, that's Cone and that's the flying squirrel. Now, apparently Sanglion wants to name the flying squirrel. And each one of the members, including the princess, all have a different name they want to give this flying squirrel. But apparently Cone is the one that ends up naming it. First, all I could say is it's the stupidest name in the world. They call it Pet. Okay, fine, it's called Pet. So that's where we end that little scene. They finally come to a compromise. The flying squirrel is called Pet. And we end this scene with seeing Elma Flora basically staring down or at the group from, I guess, a very far distance with those red, empty eyes. Yeah, that was the opening. Now, moving on to the good stuff. Yeah, the good stuff. We see Dukakis and his subordinate Variation in a jeep, and they're driving to Dukakis' family estate. So that's where he's retreating to. His fiance, apparently we find out he's got a fiance. Her name is Amelia. And she doesn't live at the estate because they're not married yet, so she just comes and visits every so often. It gets so much better. Amelia, well, you know, she welcomes him in, and I guess she's in Dukakis' room, and they're talking, and she brings like this medical family herb from her family, like these, like a medical oil. It's like a healing oil that she gives him, or wants to give him, and you're supposed to rub it in like any area that's been hurt or damaged, and that's where Dukakis freezes up, and he feels the worst because he's like, yeah, well, there's balls. I mean, don't have him anymore, so it's kind of embarrassing in front of his fiance. So he kind of has like a freak out in his head, like thinking that his fiance is gonna say he's ballless and whatnot, and freak out and leave him. It's so much funny. But we see Dukakis leaving the estate in his jeep with Variation, and he doesn't want to take Amelia with him, but he has a butler called Sebastian, and he brings it up, and eventually Amelia ends up going with him. And again, this was just amazing. I laughed more than I ever have been in a long time. This is why I love this series. We actually get to see well, more dream sequences. Apparently you see apparently Amelia wants kids, and they're having a picnic, and she's bringing up, well, we'll have kids when the time's right, and you see Dukakis freaking out. Oh, it's hilarious. He's like, she wants kids? Can I have kids? And he like runs into the woods and like freaks out. And Variation ends up telling Amelia he doesn't even know what Dukakis' medical condition is. He's keeping it to himself, so it must be pretty serious. Oh god, this gets so much better. I mean, now, after all this fun and games, No, trust me, there was a lot more comedy. I'm just skipping some of the small parts. Horatio, Amelia, and Dukakis go back to the family estate after they have like their picnic and whatnot. I swear. Dukakis is always freaking out because he's always thinking about Amelia, thinking the worst. She'll leave him if she finds out he doesn't have any balls. Sorry. But they're at the family estate, and apparently 2 of Dukakis' relatives have stopped by, Limpus and Gaberiella. Now, they're brother and sister, and they're part of the Descus family, and their family's slightly poor, I guess. Well, I mean, they look nice. They're slightly, I guess they have a good reputation, but they're not doing financially that well. But, you know, they're there to welcome Dukakis back, but they have ulterior motives. And when I mean ulterior you know what I mean. They're hiding something, and they're gonna surprise Dukakis, I guess, in their own way. They have different motives in general, and it's kind of interesting. Apparently, Gaberiella ends up giving Dukakis their family their family healing herbs and whatnot. And it's, now you swallow this. You don't rub it. You swallow it. So it's like it's an oral medication. And Amelia just freezes. She's like, in her mind, this is what I'm assuming. She's thinking, why are you taking your female cousin's, medical healing crap and not mine? So she feels kind of, useless and let down. So she's ready to leave, and apparently Dukakis' cousins, they want to have a party, get some booze and whatnot. Now, this is kind of interesting. We find out what the healing potion actually is. It's like Viagra. And apparently Limpus and Gaberiella want to get Dukakis pretty hung, apparently, so he can impregnate Gaberiella and marry her, so they can take the Dukakis title as well as all the fortune that goes with it. So that's just messed up, keeping it in the family. Wow, this is like, whoa, what the? Oh, it gets better. This is what I love. It gets even better. See, it gets better. Apparently, Lupus sets up Gaberiella in Dukakis' bedroom. She's wearing nothing but lingerie, and I was like, whoa. Whoa, she's coming on to her cousin. Like, oh, this is already a mind mess up right there, waiting to happen. And she's assuming he's going to be hung and ready. She doesn't know he doesn't have anything. So she's making her advances, and nothing's working. And it looks like they were actually going to do something when obviously Dukakis said no and shoved her off. Her brother walks in, Lupus walks in, and makes a big scene. And it just gets all out of control. And then he's like, this is not honorable, man. So it's like, okay, tomorrow at the Misty Woods, we're gonna have a swords duel. We're gonna have a duel with swords. Be there, be square. So they do, and well, apparently the following day we're taken to the duel. The rules are set. Just before the duel, apparently Horatio overhears the brother and sister talk, so he knows the whole plan. He tells Dukakis, but Dukakis already knows the truth. So this is kind of interesting, but it just gets so much gets better, much better. Sitting down, ready for this. Just when they're ready to start the duel, obviously Dukakis talks to Limpus or Lupus. No, Limpus. It's Limpus. It's Limpus. Limpus, and he sets the rules. First, he tells him, "Okay, I know about everything, and you're gonna deny it." He denies it. He's like, "Okay, well, here's the thing. If I win, you go away, and we call this even. But if I lose, you can have my family fortune. But I'm already engaged to Amelia, so I'm not gonna go back on my word. But you can have all my money." So that was pretty fair. So it's like, okay. Now apparently Dukakis never set the rules up for the game, so as soon as the match starts, I automatically assumed he's going to be a little off balance, but apparently for losing that other side of his nuts, because he has nothing now he's evenly balanced, so now he's back to what he used to be. Just a little stamina struck. He's not, because he's still a little winded from all that surgery. Now Limpus, he calls out all these names, because he's like, okay, I'm ready to fight. First you hear Sikadori, That was his first aid, and apparently Dukakis like he's cool with it, but Varation was like, well, this is cheating, and Olympus is like, well, we didn't set any rules. So he called a guy called Sicardo or Sicdoro, and he's got a mask on, like a Mexican mask, white mask. And then Sicardo calls out Agio, another guy with a mask, and then Agio calls Saltero. Saltero calls Baristico. Baristico calls said, you see a pattern here. They keep calling more people, and you have 7 guys working for Olympus right now, and they're ready to beat the crap out of Dukakis. And I thought, whoa, this guy not only plays dirty, he doesn't even know how to pick the right guys out. These are wrestling guys with like, this guy's stupid, but he took advantage since Dukakis is weak, and out of nowhere, Dukakis snaps, takes them all out. I thought he was going to lose because of the off-balanceness, but yeah, he is back to what he used to be. He takes them all out, but Olympus is not stunned. He calls out Grand Exkio, which is a huge bird, to take out Dukakis. Now, at this point, Varation's like, okay, I'm jumping in. Now, this is what I don't understand. All of Olympus's bodyguards of 7 guys stopped him and says, no, you can't do that. That's cheating. I was like, what? But you guys just jumped. There's 7 of you. And this is like, wow. You guys don't play fair. Now, apparently, Olympus thought he was going to win. And then you see Dukakis power up, and he takes out the bird. It was amazing. I didn't see this coming, but he can use a special power. He's like all glowing purpley, like black purple. Takes out the bird. It's dead. And Amelia's shown up with Sebastian the butler, and they're rooting Dukakis on. So he's like, he's feeling supported right now. And apparently, it's not done yet. Olympus is like, it looked like he was ready to throw in the towel. He's like, Dukakis approaches him. He's like, okay, do you give up? You know, we'll call this square and even. He turns his back and walks away. And what happened? His cousin charging right at him. And you know what's even more funnier? He kicks Dukakis in the balls. And he's like, okay, it's done. I win. I win. No. Oh, no. Dukakis turns around like, you know, like his head turns. You hear like a little creaking noise or something. And he's like, you're dead. And Olympus is like all like, whoa, that should have finished you off. Wait, what's going on here? You just can't figure it out, but it was hilarious. Now, what would have made more sense in the previous episodes is if Dukakis would have wore a goddamn cup after his first time of getting his butt whooped. So at least he'd still have something. But you know, hey, he's back to the way he was, kind of. And anyways, he ends up winning. And apparently Olympus calls it even. If that's what you're going to call it. Now, apparently, Variation calls Dukakis the Full Metal Balchemist. Because he's apparently learned a new techniques. Because this is what he tells Amelia. Because Amelia's like, I didn't know guys could do this. And Variation's like, they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to be able to take that kind of damage. But then he's like, you see Dukakis like, I had time to master. Dude, you're just lying. You're making this worse for yourself. You should have just told Amelia the truth to begin with. If she loves you, she would have stuck with you. And if she wasn't in love with you, then obviously she would have left you. But dude, he's lying through his teeth, and then you hear Variation call him the Full Metal Balchemist. So, wow, Dukakis for the win, you Full Metal Balchemist. But anyways, we end this episode with Dukakis dropping off Amelia, saying he's going to be back, you know, nothing to worry about, and he's going to go to the spa. And we see at the end of the episode, he's going to the Tam-Escure hot springs. So he's going to a hot springs. The Tam-Escure, Tamatuskure. I can't even pronounce that, but I'm just going to call it the hot springs. So, end of the episode, he's going to the hot springs. Final thoughts? Final thoughts. Wow. Well, first of all, I want to see what is Dukakis capable of now. What is his full power extent now that he looks like he's back? He's no longer unbalanced. And can he still have kids? As for Cone, is that the real name he's giving his flying squirrel his pet? It doesn't even sound realistic. And Alma Flora, who are you? You don't get no damn introduction. You're just stalking them. Damn stalker. But, well, I guess one more. I'm curious to see when Kone's going to get to the capital, and is he going to upgrade his weapon more, learn more techniques? That's another big thing I want to know more about. But that ends it for my final thoughts. As for my rating, 4.5. Do I even have to think about it? It was funny. We got a little fight scene. Not the best fight scene, but hey, I needed a good laugh, and it was there for me, so 4.5 out of 5. It was right on the money. Now that ends it for my walkthrough and review of Ixion Saga Dimension Transfer Episode 4, and I'm pretty much done for the rest of the day for everything else. So that ends it for today. I'll try to be on Skype later on today, probably after 10 maybe. So stay tuned if you're free. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe above, and definitely comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode, because I loved it. But that ends it for today. Before I go, I have to say it, because it is still the weekend. Regardless, I'm still going to say it. Can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.